Welcome, everyone, to the Special Education Inner Circle podcast. And I'm your host, Catherine Witcher, and I'm excited to be here with you today. If you are angry about what's happening in special education right now, this one's for you. If you are frustrated as a special needs parent, as a teacher, as an admin, or a therapist, you are not alone. But there is a big problem right now all over social media, all over our parent support groups and our teacher meetings. There's a huge issue with anger leading the conversation. There's a huge amount of frustration that is building up, and it is being released by going to other people that are angry and banding together and saying that you're going to make change. Now, I've been in special education professionally for over 20 years, working with parents, teachers, admins, and therapists, and I've been known to use collaborative strategies to get a whole lot of things. And a lot of times, people think that you have to fight to get there, that you have to fight with angry words, that you have to make other people angry to get them on your side or to see what you really need for your child or your students. And that is what is happening everywhere right now. I'm going to give you a big warning. If you follow the anger, if you become part of that angry mob that says that they're fighting for change, you're going to get stuck. It is a short-term vision to get wrapped up in what a school has to do right now according to the law. Let me give you an example of something that has been achieved inside of our Master IEP Coach community. Remember, you can find out about how to become a Master IEP Coach at masteriepcoach.com. I just was talking to a group of Master IEP coaches, and we're sharing what's happening behind the scenes, what's being achieved, how are we getting it done? And I will tell you, they are flipping anger into results. They are coming together with a plan to move a child forward, even through these devastating circumstances that most of our families and teachers are experiencing right now. So our Master IEP coach, Courtney, she's been working with a family who has a child who was not able to access her education at all in the way it's being delivered. I know there's many of you that are feeling the same way. You're a teacher who feels like they can't deliver. You're a parent who knows that things are not happening in the right way for your child. Courtney was able to work with the school district and achieve 10 hours of private tutoring per week to be able to achieve one-to-one assistive technology help and coaching, not just for the student, but also for the parent. So she was able to achieve parent training. She was also able to achieve the child having access to the vision therapist and the parent being involved in those sessions also. Now, to be able to achieve this high level of service of one-to-one tutoring, private assistive technology training for student and parent, to be able to achieve access to the vision therapist throughout all of this chaos, it wasn't pretty, but it wasn't through anger. I want you to know that if you are working from anger, you're going to get stuck, that you need a plan, that you need to be really confident in how to provide prior written notice, of how to write an advocacy letter, of how to collaborate with the team and know what they have to do, but to really help them see why they should want to do it and how this is going to work in the long term. There's a lot of leaders in special education right now that are honestly attracting people who are on the edge. I'm just going to call it out, guys. There's upset parents, devastated parents. You might be one of them. There's teachers that are hurting, that are frustrated, that just want to serve their families. And the loudest voices out there are getting you to rally in an uproar that is not productive. You need a long-term plan and to decide, what do you really want, not just from the next 90 days, but what do you want for the rest of the school year? How are you truly going to get a plan of what's important for your child for further education, employment, and independent living? What strategy are you going to use to get everything in writing in a positive, proactive way that is solution-based, that is not using the law as a weapon to force people to do things. Nobody went into special education to take things away from a child. I know that. I was a special education teacher. These are my colleagues that are hurting behind the scenes because they can't do what they need to do. If you're an upset teacher and you are frustrated with the classroom right now and your goal is to get out of the classroom, then make a plan for that. But serve your family, serve your students in the meantime as best as you can with all the resources that you have. And if you have to be that teacher that gives a parent a little wink and a nudge behind the scenes of what to say, what words to use, and what to ask for, be that teacher. If you have to be the admin that breaks the rules and talks to a parent and tells them what's available, even though you're not supposed to, I'm going to challenge you to be that administrator. If you're the therapist who needs to give some extra time to a family, but it's not written in their IEP, be that therapist. If you're the parent who needs to get out of the anger and really move forward because you want better for your child, not just now short term, but you want it long term, be the parent who gets a plan. Don't be the parent who hops into the anger and the tossing around of words like mediation and due process and state complaints. I'll tell you right now, you use those words right now in this climate, due process, mediation, state complaints, you are going to get stuck in your negotiations for a better education for your child. The school district lawyer is going to get called in. All conversations are going to be shut down, and you're going to be caught into a paperwork trail that gets really ugly really fast. So I want to encourage you that if you are angry right now, I need you to step back. I need you to stop listening to the loudest voices that are out there telling you what you can do with the law to force people of what they have to do, and really think about what does your child, what does your family need over the next 30, 60, 90 days and beyond. How are you going to put together this plan? And are we going to use the law to achieve that? Absolutely. Is there a time to push back and say, please show me the policy that is determining this decision? 100%. Are there times where the conversation is going to get stuck? Absolutely. But you have to leave the door open to move through that. And if you are getting advice at this time right now to do any of those three things, due process, mediation, state complaints, and it's for an issue that majority of special education families are experiencing right now, I can tell you the only thing you're doing is slowing down the opportunity to achieve things like what Courtney achieved with the family that she's working with. Yes, we can look at creative options of private tutoring paid for by the school district. We can look at options of vision therapist being accessible to you. We can look at options of assistive technology, not just including the child, but including the parent. Parent training is a huge thing that can be a phenomenal benefit right now inside of our current education climate. But you need a plan. You need to figure out what you want long-term. You need to stop trying to figure out how to use the law as a weapon. And you need to get surrounded by people who see hope and possibilities and can stand their ground when they know that something is wrong, but they're not going to approach it from a standpoint of anger, but they're going to help you take that anger and channel it into a plan. Channel it into doing something better that's going to have a long-term benefit, not just a short-term solution. Again, I'd love to have you guys inside of the Master IEP Coach Mentorship. That's at masteriepcoach.com. It's time for us to start working together productively, not just for a solution through the remote learning and hybrid situation or being on campus with modified rules, but special education has not changed significantly in over 40 years. The law was enacted in 1975. I will tell you right now, as a sibling to a brother with Down syndrome, I know what the adult disability world looks like. I know the lack of resources. I know what's out there and what needs to change in our school system to ensure that your child has as many opportunities as possible to reach their potential for further education, employment, independent living. Teachers, you have opportunities right now in the school system. Everything has fallen apart. You have the opportunity to put it back together better than before, but you got to get creative. You got to get a plan. You have to bring new solutions, new ideas, and stop just doing what has been done in the past, but come up with something brand new. That new methodology, that new book, that new strategy, that new visual tool, all of those things. This is the time to try. This is the time to bring the new ideas. We are not stuck in old routines. We are in something completely new, and it's an opportunity to get creative and take our frustration and reposition it into a solution. If you need help finding those, again, come on over to masteriepcoach.com. We'll show you exactly how Courtney was able to achieve one-on-one tutoring. We're going to show you exactly how Lisa was able to get a plan to prepare her child for life after high school. We're going to show you how we've taken hybrid plans that were supposed to be 2 days a week on campus and modified that to 4 days a week on campus for a child who needed in-person learning because he was unable to access online. All of these things are happening. That's not what you're hearing out on social media. You're hearing other people talk about using the law to fight, but they're not sharing with you the possible results. I'll share with you every result. You got questions? Send me an email. I will absolutely share with you solutions that are happening out there that relate to your child and your situation, and then come get all the tools that you need and get surrounded by people who understand, will help you get that plan and get unstuck inside of the masteriepcoach.com. Guys, if you take anything away from this today, it's that it is okay to walk away from the anger in special education right now and refocus into what you need long-term to be the best at your role at the IEP table.